With YouTube attacking alternative media, please consider supporting the channel via Patreon for just $1 per month. Link below. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and I don't know about you, but I am legitimately excited to see Rampage. When I first heard that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was going to be working on this movie, I was like, "Oh, come on, come on! How good can this be? What?" And then I saw the trailer, and I was like, "I'm sold. I'm so sold. So sold." But I love this here because Rampage is now going to hit theaters a week early after Avengers release date switch. Now, if you recall a couple days ago, Marvel announced very coyly on Twitter that they were going to be upping the release date of Avengers Infinity War to April 27th. Many people out there have speculated that has to do with the spoilers in the movie and that they didn't want those getting out to the greater internet and ruining the film for everybody else, which is a valid theory, by the way, but mine was the fact that didn't want to battle Deadpool 2. And then also encroach in on anything Solo might earn, which I do feel ultimately is probably more likely than not. And I say that simply because you know, they've always released movies a week early in other you know, areas and other regions. So you know this isn't any different necessarily. Money is money at the end of the day, and they don't want anything messing with theirs. So they want to get the second week viewings again and not have it be conflicting with people who will wait a few more days for Deadpool. But anyway, it turns out it's going to shift the market a little bit. People who want to compete, who don't want to compete necessarily with that. Now, it says Dwayne Johnson will be smacking down genetically enhanced monsters 1 week earlier than expected. Warner Brothers will release a sci-fi action video game adaptation Rampage ahead of previously scheduled, moving the release date up a week from April 20th to April 13th. The move comes on the heels of Marvel's clever Avengers Infinity War switcheroo, which saw the long-awaited Avengers sequel bumped up from May 4th, April 27th, in order to give the blockbuster Disney vehicle more space from the Star Wars spin-off Solo: A Star Wars Story. See, they want to say that, but ultimately it is in fact Deadpool. I don't know why Haley Fauci here is not looking at the Deadpool. It's not giving them a week more space away from freaking Solo, right? Like, that makes no sense at all to even make that argument. Solo is the 25th of the month. This is the 4th of the month. There are you know, several weeks in between, or a few weeks in between, and you've got Deadpool coming at him. Like, you can't discount Deadpool. I'm sorry. It just, that annoys me. Deadpool was an $800+ million movie in 2016. Do you really honestly think that the sequel is not going to edge close to $1 billion if it's anywhere near as good or well received? Right? Disney knows that that's a freaking juggernaut. They know that they don't want to mess with Deadpool. Why do you think Bob Iger is like, no. Once we acquire Fox, Deadpool's going to stay rated R. Like, at least until Bob Iger leaves and they run through whatever contracts and agreements they've got with that, and the next guy makes it all PG-13 dumbed down, which will happen, mark my words. But they know that they're not going to mess with that. Like, they don't want to get caught up in that storm. I'm sorry. Like, Anyway, as per The Hollywood Reporter, Rampage's subsequent bump is a response to Disney's schedule shakeup, designed to preserve the film's 2-week cushion before Marvel's superhero epic stakes its box office claim. The move also forces Warner Brothers to step on their own toes a little bit. Rampage comes from the Warner sister studio New Line, and the new release date encroaches closer to Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One adaptation. Warner property, which is poised to hold court for 3 weeks as its sole tentpole theaters before the switch, which is true, but it's not. I don't think it's gonna I don't think people are going to hold off seeing Ready Player One again for Rampage, if I'm being honest. Like, I plan on seeing Rampage, but I also plan on going to see Ready Player One because it comes out a couple days after my birthday, so that's obviously what I'm going to go do. I think for the average, I think for like the nostalgic gamer, Ready Player One is a higher draw than Rampage, if I'm being fair. But at the same time, Rampage is directed by the guy who did San Andreas. San Andreas was a bona fide hit. I don't know why they're even doing a sequel. And him and The Rock work well together, especially coming off of Jumanji. It could be a good push for The Rock. Get more butts in seats. But it could also be another Baywatch. We don't quite know. The Rock is very much kind of a quantity over quality type actor. And I am not knocking that. I love the guy, but I think that's quite true. Now, Rampage reunites Johnson with the San Andreas director Brad Payton and pulls from the 1980s video game starring Johnson as a primatologist who has to save the day when 3 genetically altered beasts, a giant gorilla, wolf, and crocodile, wreak havoc across the nation. Man, I'm totally sold on Rampage. Well, here's a synopsis for it, in case you don't know. Primatologist Davis Okoye, a man who keeps people at a distance, shares an unshakable bond with George, the extraordinarily intelligent silverback gorilla who's been in his care since birth. But a rogue genetic experiment gone awry transforms his gentle ape into a raging monster. To make matters worse, it's soon discovered that there are other similarly altered alpha predators. As these new creatures or newly created monsters tear across North America, destroying everything in their path, Okoye teams with a discredited genetic engineer to secure an antidote, fighting his way through an ever-changing battlefield, not only to halt a global catastrophe, but to save the fearsome creature that was once his friend. And it's going to totally be like a Mighty Joe Young situation, I feel like, if I'm being honest here. But then again, looking at the idea of what this movie is, I think it does have the makings to be a success. However, theatrically, probably not. Home video, I would argue, yeah, it's going to have a better shot there. This movie will probably come out. It will do okay opening weekend. Maybe number 1, probably number 3 or 4. But it will come out. It will do okay. And then people will talk about it. And then because then it will just get swallowed up by Avengers. And then, of course, it will be out, 3 months later, probably. So we're talking like early July, end of June, early July for a home video release. If I had to speculate, it will be out. Then people can watch it, people can rent it, and then it might then find itself doing pretty well. This will not be a Jumanji going up against Star Wars. This is not going to be that where it goes on to gross over 800 million, coming out at a time of year when there wasn't a lot of other competition that was, more or less family friendly. And so, yeah. But that being said, I'm excited to see how it plays out. I've always been a fan of Midway's Rampage games. I love them even now, 20 plus years later. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the movie plays out because the trailer made it look like a lot of fun. The Rock plus Jeffrey Dean Morgan is a win for me. So with any luck, this will actually be able to find some success and then not entirely be destroyed by Avengers. But I wouldn't worry about it encroaching on Ready Player One, as Spielberg, 1980s nostalgia, and gaming is probably going to end up doing very, very well, provided the reviews aren't entirely horrible. But what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been 3 Buck Theater. If you haven't already, thumbs it up, subscribe, check back often for movie news, and if you want to win a copy of Justice League on Blu-ray, which I know you do. I know you do. I'm giving one away on March 10th, which is a couple days from now. Check the community tab on the 10th for the winner there. And to enter, really, all you got to do is subscribe and, well, comment. So if you guys want to see more from me, you can do so right now.